Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. Today we're going to make a PU printed patch. So PU leather is just polyurethane faux leather, and this is a laser safe leather. I'll put the link to the patches that I'm using down below. You are going to need some sort of primer. I am going to be using Ink Aid. However, it's not the only option out there. xTool actually has a spray that I'm really excited to try. Because my product is liquid, I am going to use one of these to apply a foam brush or a foam swab. Either way, our goal is a nice, smooth application with not a lot of ridges, bumps, or anything caught inside of it. We also know that we should always secure our item before printing. Did I go a little overboard? Maybe. Did it move? No. So I am going to be using a repositionable tape on the back of my patch. The reason I'm using something like this is because it is flat. There's not really going to be any bumps or lumps in this, and you can just use your finger to roll off the adhesive when you're done. Now I'm going to seal mine with a shoe spray. I'm using Gold Standard because it does not contain an epoxy resin. Be sure that whatever sealant you're using is safe for heat press application.
If this is your first time on my channel, if I'm going too fast, go to the YouTube playback speed and choose anything above the word normal to slow it down. This is what I'm going to be using today. This is the xTool M2, which is a printer and laser combination, though we're only going to use the printer.
So I'm going to make an assumption first that you have done the calibration for the inkjet module. Once you've done that, you can pick up this tutorial.
Now remember that I already admitted I went a little overboard in my positioning, okay? But hold on. I have the PU primed patch. I have a couple strips of that repositionable tape on the back. I'm just going to press it into a Dollar Tree board that I used to elevate. You don't need to do this. And then I'm going to use rolled up pieces of blue tape on two sides so that it doesn't move. Is that necessary? No. I know. But the best part is when you close the lid, that module will move and take a picture of the world view. Now, look at that. That looks good, right? Don't start positioning until you come over to the right and hit the measure distance. Click directly on your item, and then that laser module will move directly over it. Now you have the most accurate image. So, now we design. I'm going to go out to Creative Fabrica, grab this image and just drag it in. It's a little large, but you have a lot of design tools. The first, come up to the top here and change it by, 3 inches. Use Command or Control and the plus sign to zoom in, or use the little roller bar thing. I'm going to hit C on my keyboard, not hold down Shift, and make an oval. I'm going to unlock the ratio up here on this top toolbar right here. And then that'll let me use the transform controls a little easier. That's still not right. So let's go up to that top toolbar after we get a close view cam. Now, this really benefits you when you're trying to do edges or the stitch view. However, I just want to get really close, making sure I'm directly over it. And then I'm going to go change the angle a little bit of that oval. Still not right. I'm going to go up to this edit right here. This is a vector. This is your vector edit. These white things are called nodes. You can move them or use their handles to change the direction of the shape. You can also click on the path, add your own node, and get a little easier and better alignment. All I'm trying to do is make my oval, which will be my mask, the same size as that stitching. To get out of this view, click on where that close view is and just right click and hit delete the close view. Now I'm going to always make a copy of my image because I'm going to manipulate it. I'm also going to create a copy of my mask just in case, and you'll see why. I always make sure I take both of the image and the original copy, size them together. Now you can see our design is all outside of this, but don't worry, my friend. See that bottom left hand corner? You're going to click that little thing that looks like a cake layer. That's going to open up this panel. You just want to make sure you highlight your mask, which is that vector and the image. Come up here to this create mask and make sure it's positioned and hit done. Now watch. All that text, all the stars on the top, all of it went away. but it's not perfect. Look at this rando starfish, like 3/4 of a starfish. And then we have a shell or something over here. So we come over here to the AI cutout, go to manual and go to eraser. Change the size of the eraser just to make sure you get any piece that the mask didn't cut out. So I just need that starfish in this shell. And then I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to take all this away. Just hit done. And watch. Now she's pretty. Now, see that little part where the beach chairs are not cut off the same? You could also make a copy, put these in correctly. I'm not doing that. But I'm going to give you a tip. Remember these two things? You can use those as many times, just keep copying. However, when you are not using them, always make sure you highlight them and go to the right over here and make sure output is off. We don't want our printer printing on the bed of the laser. Speaking of printer, if I didn't say this, always make sure it's inkjet when you're in inkjet mode or in multimodal if you're using the laser. If this is so much, if you need help with software, designs, the machine itself, you can book a skill call through xTool with me. I'll put that demo squad link down below. Okay, back to our design. You say, Sarah, why is it empty on the edges? Girl, that's because we have not filled it. Let's go fill it. Again, I'm going to make a copy, unlock it, make a copy of this image because I want the original somewhere. Now I'm going to edit just this copy. I'm going to come up here to the edit menu. It'll open up this side. I'm going to go to over in the AI cutout. Again, I'm going to go to manual eraser, change the size of the eraser. And I just want the stars. If you just wanted the bow, you can just do the bow like anything. The seashell, the starfish, you zoom in, always hit confirm. Now we have this, which is massive, and I don't want it. So let's go to the crop image, same side over here on the left, and then just make this smaller so we can get everything nice and tidy. Hit save. Now I'm going to copy and paste, Command C or Control V. And then I'm going to position one, copy it, and then I'm going to highlight that copy, and I'm going to reverse it. Okay, so you can mirror things by coming up here and hitting this flip horizontally. Look at that. Now, I'm going to position these. You can do it manually. You can go in through turning it. I did. I kind of wanted to see what it would look like a few different ways. Added another one down in the center. Either way, you can use the alignment by highlighting more than one. But there's a lot of design tools in here for you. Again, I'm just making sure that these are off down here. I'm going to hit Command G or Control G to group them just to clean up my layers panel over here. So in case I want to run this again, it's nice and tidy. I'm going to make sure everything is on for the output for everything over here in this middle section that I want. Now, I'm going to select 70% concentration because I have a primed piece. You will test this for your machine, but you have to come down here and hit start after you hit process so you can get this image, and then it will allow you to hit start on your machine and get the countdown timer. Now watch when I hit start, see it turns green, and then you see the ink module itself, get your hands out of there, Sarah, will decap itself and then come over and begin printing. Now when you are using inkjet mode, whether it's through inkjet by itself or the multimodal, you will be able to operate the inkjet portion open. Now, once this is printed, it'll cap itself, right? I'm going to leave it in the machine for about a minute, and that way I can just make sure it's dry. Then, because I'm overkill, I don't know if you can see, but like some of those areas are a little shiny. That's why I zoomed in remarkably close. So I'm just going to use the xTool little vacuum blower thing. And then here you can see it's taken out. This is under studio lighting. I used a piece of parchment, then my Teflon pads, the xTool mini press, and then I just pressed it per the instructions. I always like to turn it over and also hit it with a couple of seconds of heat on the back side so that I make sure that adhesive is on. And I always manipulate it, bend it, try and lift it up, but you do that after it cools, by the way. And you can see here it is under those studio lights. Looks a little washed out, but I'll show you here under natural light. Looks a little pink when I'm zoomed in, but here you go. This is the project. What do you think?
I hope you enjoyed this fun tutorial. If you're thinking about an xTool M2 and you have further questions about this process, let me know. If you have an M2, be sure to subscribe. I love sharing tutorials. If you have any questions or want to see future tutorials, just add that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me for today's quick tutorial. I appreciate you being here, and please like and subscribe for more xTool M2 crafting fun.